Hendry just got blindsided in one of the most shocking attacks we've seen on NXT in months, and General Manager Ava is not holding back. She's pointing the finger directly at the Vanity Project, and the fallout from this could reshape the entire NXT landscape. What's up, Suplex Rumble family? Buckle up because we're breaking down everything that went down, why Ava is calling out the Vanity Project, and what this means for the future of NXT. Welcome back to Suplex Rumble, the channel where we dive deep into all the hard-hitting action, backstage drama, and pulse-pounding moments from the world of professional wrestling. I'm your host, and today we're tackling one of the hottest stories coming out of WWE NXT right now. Before we get into it, make sure you smash the like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss our breakdowns, predictions, and exclusive wrestling content. And drop a comment below telling me your thoughts on this situation because the Suplex Rumble community always brings the heat. Now, let's set the stage for what happened and why the entire NXT roster is talking about it. Alright, let's paint the picture of what went down. Hendry, the charismatic superstar who's been making waves across the wrestling world, found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time on NXT. And when I say wrong place, wrong time, I mean he walked straight into an absolute ambush. Hendry, known for his incredible connection with the fans and that infectious I believe in Hendry energy, was blindsided in what can only be described as a calculated, vicious attack. We're talking about the kind of assault that leaves you questioning who you can trust in the back and wondering what the real motive is. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. In the aftermath of this attack, NXT General Manager Ava didn't waste any time making her position crystal clear. She came out and publicly blamed the Vanity Project for orchestrating this assault on Hendry. For those who might not be completely up to speed, the Vanity Project is a faction that's been stirring up trouble in NXT. They've made it their mission to prove they're the most important, the most talented, and frankly, the most self-absorbed group on the roster. But are they also the most dangerous? That's the question we're asking today. Ava's accusation wasn't some vague, we're looking into it corporate speak. No, she was direct, she was firm, and she made it abundantly clear that she believes the Vanity Project crossed a line. In the world of professional wrestling, when a general manager publicly calls out a faction like this, you know things are about to escalate in a major way. The attack itself has sent shockwaves through the NXT locker room. Hendry isn't just any wrestler, he's someone who's earned respect across multiple promotions and has built a massive following. An attack on someone of his caliber sends a message, and that message is that nobody is safe. Now, if you're wondering exactly who the Vanity Project is and why they would target someone like Hendry, let me break it down for you. The Vanity Project is a group that epitomizes arrogance and self-importance. These individuals believe they are the embodiment of perfection in professional wrestling. They're not just confident, they're obsessed with their own image, their own superiority, and they've made it clear they think everyone else on the NXT roster is beneath them. This faction has been building momentum over the past several weeks, inserting themselves into various storylines and making enemies left and right. Their modus operandi is simple: they want the spotlight, they want the accolades, and they don't care who they have to step on to get there. What makes them particularly dangerous is their willingness to operate outside the traditional rules of engagement. They're not interested in fair fights or earning respect the old-fashioned way. They want shortcuts, they want dominance, and they want everyone to acknowledge their supposed greatness. The question that's on everyone's mind is this: why Hendry? What did he do to earn their ire? Was this a strategic move to take out someone they see as a threat? Or is there something deeper going on that we haven't uncovered yet? Some fans speculate that the Vanity Project saw Hendry's rising popularity as a direct challenge to their claim of being the most important act in NXT. Others think this could be part of a larger plan to create chaos and position themselves as the dominant force in the brand. Whatever their motivation, one thing is certain: they've now drawn the ire of not just Hendry and his supporters, but of General Manager Ava herself, and that's a dangerous position to be in. Let's talk about Ava's response because this is absolutely crucial to understanding where this story is heading. As the General Manager of NXT, Ava has a responsibility to maintain order, ensure fair competition, and protect the integrity of the brand. When she came out and directly blamed the Vanity Project for the attack on Hendry, she wasn't just making an observation, she was drawing a line in the sand. In professional wrestling, general managers hold significant power. They can book matches, hand out suspensions, and create consequences for actions that violate the rules. Ava's public statement puts the Vanity Project on notice that their actions will have repercussions. But here's what makes this situation so compelling: Ava can't just snap her fingers and make this go away. The Vanity Project is likely to push back, to deny involvement, or to claim they were justified in their actions. This creates a power struggle between authority and rebellion, order and chaos, and that's the kind of storytelling that makes professional wrestling so captivating. From a storytelling perspective, Ava's accusation sets up multiple potential directions for this angle to go. We could see a formal investigation leading to some kind of punishment or stipulation match where the Vanity Project has to answer for their actions. We could see Hendry returning for revenge, potentially with allies to even the odds against a faction. We could see the Vanity Project doubling down, becoming even more aggressive and forcing Ava to make increasingly difficult decisions about how to handle them. What's particularly interesting is how this affects Ava's credibility as a leader. If she can't bring the Vanity Project to justice or restore order, it could undermine her authority. On the flip side, if she comes down too hard, she risks the Vanity Project claiming they're being unfairly targeted. This is high-stakes drama, and it's exactly the kind of compelling television that keeps fans invested week after week. The personal element, with Ava taking a clear stance, adds emotional weight to what could have been just another attack angle. Now let's shift our focus to Joe Hendry himself, because his role in this story is far from over. Joe Hendry is not the type of competitor who's going to just let this slide. Throughout his career, he's shown incredible resilience, charisma, and fighting spirit. The "I believe in Joe Hendry" movement isn't just a catchy phrase, it represents his ability to connect with audiences and overcome adversity. The attack, while devastating, also presents Hendry with a tremendous opportunity from a storytelling standpoint. Nothing creates a more sympathetic babyface than an unjust assault, and nothing sets up a more satisfying eventual revenge than making the audience wait for that moment of vindication. When Hendry returns, and make no mistake he will return, the crowd is going to be absolutely electric. The anticipation is building right now, and every week that passes where he's recovering from this attack only makes the eventual payoff more powerful. There are so many directions WWE could take this. Hendry could return solo, looking for one-on-one revenge against specific members of the Vanity Project. He could align with other wrestlers who've been victimized by the faction, creating a countergroup dedicated to taking them down. He could even work directly with Ava to ensure justice is served through sanctioned competition. What makes Hendry such a valuable piece of this puzzle is his versatility. He can work as a serious, intense competitor seeking revenge, or he can maintain that charismatic, fun-loving persona while still being credible as someone who wants payback. That balance is rare and makes him the perfect person to be at the center of this angle. The wrestling business thrives on these kinds of stories: clear heroes, clear villains, a wrong that needs to be righted, and the journey toward that resolution. Hendry has all the tools to make this one of the most memorable feuds in recent NXT history. Alright, Suplex Rumble Nation, let's get into predictions and where I think this story is heading, because the possibilities are absolutely endless. We're going to see Ava book some kind of match or series of matches that forces the Vanity Project to defend themselves. This could be anything from a traditional tag team match to something more creative like a gauntlet match or even a wargame style situation if this escalates far enough. Joe Hendry is going to make a surprise return at a critical moment, probably costing the Vanity Project something important, whether that's a championship opportunity or a major match. That pop from the crowd is going to be absolutely massive. We're going to learn there's more to this story. Maybe the Vanity Project was hired by someone else, or maybe there's a personal grudge we don't know about yet. The best wrestling storylines have layers, and I suspect we're only scratching the surface. This could be the catalyst that elevates the Vanity Project from mid-card agitators to legitimate main event players. Sometimes the best way to build a faction is to give them a high-profile feud with serious consequences. Looking at the broader NXT landscape, this storyline has the potential to be a centerpiece of the brand for the next several months. It checks all the boxes: personal stakes, clear motivations, popular wrestlers, and the backing of management through Ava's involvement. The beauty of professional wrestling is that while we can predict and speculate, the actual execution often surprises us. That's what keeps us coming back week after week, tuning in to see how these stories unfold. One thing I'm particularly excited about is how this could affect the overall tone of NXT. If the Vanity Project continues to operate with impunity, it creates an atmosphere where anything can happen and nobody is safe. That unpredictability is gold for engaging storytelling. I also think we could see other wrestlers getting involved, either supporting Hendry or trying to curry favor with the Vanity Project. These situations rarely stay contained to just the principals, they tend to ripple out and affect the entire roster. And there you have it, Suplex Rumble family. Ava's accusation against the Vanity Project for the attack on Joe Hendry has set the stage for what could be one of the most compelling storylines in NXT today. We've got a vengeful GM seeking justice, a beloved wrestler awaiting his moment of revenge, and a villainous faction that seems determined to burn down everything in their path. This is wrestling storytelling at its finest, and I cannot wait to see how it all plays out. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the Vanity Project was behind the attack, or is there more to the story? How should Ava handle this situation? What kind of match do you want to see when Joe Hendry gets his revenge? Remember to smash the like button if you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe to Suplex Rumble for more incredible wrestling content, and hit that notification bell so you're always first to know when we drop new videos. I'm your host, and until next time, keep believing in the power of wrestling storytelling, keep supporting your favorite wrestlers, and always remember, in the world of professional wrestling, anything can happen. See you in the next one, Suplex Rumble Nation. Stay awesome.